Shalom. First and foremost, I want to say, Call Halal Yamla Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakak Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. And peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, pushing this word with all righteousness and sincerity. Shalom. So this lesson I'm titling, This Adversity is Working in Our Favor, because we're being broken down in the flesh in order to be built back stronger in the spirit, so that we can be accepted of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai in those days of turmoil, and so that we can endure during those times and be delivered. So with that, I'm going to start in 1 Peter, and I'll start in chapter 1, verse 3. Blessed be the Most High and Father of our Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, which according to his abundant mercy hath begotten us again unto a lively hope by the resurrection of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach from the dead, to an inheritance incorruptible and undefiled, and that fadeth not away, reserved in heaven for you, who are kept by the power of the Most High through faith unto salvation, ready to be revealed in the last time. So we're being kept by Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai through faith, that we will eventually receive the reward in the kingdom that's been prepared for us. In verse 6, wherein ye greatly rejoice, though now for a season, if need be, ye are in heaviness through manifold temptations. And that's all that's in this world is temptation. And let's get that word manifold.
Strong's G 4164, poikilos. Poikilos.
Poikilos. So it's various sorts. So we go through various temptations in this world that are harmful to our flesh, but we're beginning to cut that off through these different trials and tribulations we go through in the flesh. That's going to build us up in the spirit. Verse 7, that the trial of your faith, being much more precious than of gold that perish, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. So we're being tried as gold because we need to be purified, and Yahweh Shai is not accepting 14 karat gold or 18 karat gold. He wants 100% pure gold with no impurities. So with that, I'm gonna jump down to I'm gonna go to 2 Timothy chapter 2. And I'll start in verse 3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier. And soldiers, they're made mentally tough through the adversity that they go through, and we're being made spiritually toughened through or hardened, as it says here, through the adversities that we're being put through by Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Verse 5, and if a man also strive for masteries, yet is he not crowned, except he strive lawfully. The husbandman that laboreth must be first partaker of the fruits. So we're working to be to partake of those fruits, as it says here. Shalakia. So we go through what we go through in order to receive a reward in the kingdom, and to be made perfect in the eyes of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And that's why we do this work. I'll get to Hebrews 6, and I'll start in verse 9. Because we're not just doing this to do it. We're doing this to receive salvation at the end of the day. Hebrews 6 and 9. But beloved, we are persuaded better things of you, and things that accompany salvation, though we thus speak. For the Most High is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love. So he's not going to forget the works that we go through, the labors that we go through in this time, which ye have showed toward his name, and that ye have ministered to the saints and do minister. So we're doing this work, we're going through these different adversities, and the Most High is not going to forget that. So when the time comes that we need him, he's going to be right there by our side. And that's why it's working in our favor right now to go through these things now, so that when trouble actually hits, we have the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai right there with us. Let's see. Let's go to 2 Timothy 1 verse 8. Because we have to go through affliction in order to receive our reward. So this is 2 Timothy 1. I'll start in 7. For the Most High hath not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Be not thou therefore ashamed of the testimony of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. So we're supposed to come boldly for the testimony of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, nor of me, his prisoner, but be thou partaker of the afflictions of the gospel according to the power of the Most High. So we're supposed to partake in the affliction, because this world hates the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. So it's going to hate us for coming in his name. And we have to endure those afflictions in order to come into our rewards. But enduring those afflictions and that adversity is going to be beneficial for us in the end times. Let's see. Let me see. I think it's in Hebrews 12. Because we get put through things in order to test our faith. And here we go. I'll start in verse 5. So this is Hebrews 12 and 5. And ye I'll start in 5. And ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not now. It's like it. Despise not thou the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. So we're not supposed to despise the chastening, because that's going to build us up. That's going to make us hardened soldiers for these times to come, and that's going to be to our advantage. nor faint when thou art rebuked. And as it says in the scriptures, man, if you faint in the day of adversity, that strength was small. Just paraphrasing that, but so we can't. So like we can't faint in those days. When we get pressed, when we get into stressful situations, we can't faint. We have to just pray to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai that we'll be delivered and give us the strength to endure those days. Verse 6, for whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. So all the men that come into this are going to go through different adversities, different trials in order to test their faith. Verse 7, if ye endure chastening, the Most High dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father not chasteneth? But if ye be but if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then ye are bastards and not sons. And so we need that. You should want that correction and those tests of your faith from Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, in order because then you'll know that he's dealing with you as a father would deal with the son. And I'm gonna grab that in Sirach or Ecclesiasticus chapter 30. It says here, starting in verse 1, he that loveth his son causeth him oft to feel the rod, that he may have joy of him in the end. He that chasteneth his son shall have joy in him, and shall rejoice of him among his acquaintance. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him. Though his father die, yet he is as though he were not dead, for he hath left one behind him that is like himself. While he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him, and when he died, he was not sorrowful. He left behind him an avenger against his enemies, and one that shall requite kindness to his friends. So the Most High is chastening us and bringing us different rebukes because he wants us to be in his image, like a father would want a son. And it's like a father would want a son to be like him, because we're many Most Highs at the end of the day, and he wants us to be in his image the way Yahweh Shai is in his image, so that we can rule the world in righteousness. And if he can just leave us to rule the world, once he puts the laws, statutes, and commandments in our inward parts, so it'd be like a father. If a father left, it would be like he never left, because his son would be doing the exact same things that the father would be doing. And that's why we go through these afflictions, because it's making us as the Most High in the spirit. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna grab. I'm gonna jump to Samuel, just as an account of some adversity that helped build the man for a situation to come. This is 1 Samuel chapter 17, and I'll start at verse 34, because this is talking about King David and how he was protecting protecting the sheep prepared him to fight Goliath. Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm going to start in verse 32. And David said to Saul, "Let no man's heart fail because of him. Thy servant will go and fight this Philistine." So David was ready to go and get down with Goliath. And Saul said to David, "Thou art not able to go against the Philistine to fight with him, for thou art but a youth, and he a man of war from his youth." Because David was just a boy in modern terms, but he was a man of the Lord. But Saul was worried because Goliath had been trained as a warrior from his youth. And David said, verse 34, and David said unto Saul, "Thy servant kept his father's sheep, and there came a lion and a bear, and took a lamb out of the flock. And I went after him, and smote him, and delivered it out of his mouth. And when he arose against me, I caught him by his beard, and smote him, and slew him." So David had already had prior experience in adverse situations that were preparing him for this moment right here. Verse 36, "Thy servant slew both the lion and the bear, and this uncircumcised Philistine shall be as one of them, seeing he hath defied the armies of the living power." So that's the point right there. Like, David had already fought against great beasts, and that situation prepared him to take down the Goliath, because it built his faith, because he knew the Most High was dealing with him. So he was like, "Look, I already took out a bear, I already took out a lion, and the Most High gave me the power to do both those things. So why would he not give me the power to take a man down who was defiling his name and speaking against the armies of Israel, and speaking against the name of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai?" All right, next I'm going to grab Malachi chapter 3, and I'm going to start in verse 2. So this is Malachi chapter 3, verse 2. "But who may abide in the day of his coming?" And who's that? Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai's coming, or Yahweh Shai's coming. "And who shall stand when he appeareth? For he is like a refiner's fire." And you go into that word refine. It means to free something such as metal, to free something from impurities or unwanted material, to free from moral imperfections, to improve or perfect by pruning or polishing. So we're being improved and perfected and freed from our impurities through that fire that we're going through. Those adversities are making us more pure. For he is like a refiner's fire, and like a fuller's soap. And I looked that up also, and it says here, a fuller's job was to cleanse and whiten cloth. So he's cleaning us of our impurities. Verse 3, "And he shall sit as a refiner and a purifier of silver, and he shall purify the sons of Levi and purge them as gold and silver, that they may offer unto the Lord an offering in righteousness." So we're being purified in order to be able to come to the Lord in a more righteous state. And like it says here, he shall sit as a refiner and purifier of silver. When the silversmith is when he's refining that silver, he puts it in the fire and he sits it in there, but he always looks at it. And this woman did a video talking about how she asked him when he knows it's ready, and he said, when I can see my face in it. So Yahweh Bashim Yahushua wants to see himself in us, and that's why we go through these different adversities, because we're being cleansed to be more like Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Okay, so this will be my final precept. I pray this lesson has been edifying too, man. I know it's getting kind of long. Zechariah 13, and I'll start in verse 8. Because this is the whole point right here. 13 and 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. So that's, Lord willing, we be at that number. That's the 1/3. And I will bring the third part through the fire. So we're gonna have to go through that fire. We're gonna have to go through that adversity, and we'll refine them as silver is refined, and I will try them as gold is tried. So that fire is gonna remove those impurities from us to make us more pure, or to make us I don't want to say perfect, but to bring us to a closer state of perfection. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is my power. So that's the point right there, man. Like I said, the lesson, this adversity is working in our favor, because we're being tried, we're being purified, we're being refined as silver and gold, to be in a more perfect state for when Yahweh Bashim Yahushua comes and collects us. So I pray that lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect out there, men and women. And I just want to close by saying, Call Halal Yimla Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers. And peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, pushing this word with all righteousness and sincerity. Shalom, Kwame Yasharala, Abba Baba. We almost home.